Well, hey everybody, welcome back. All right, now if I sound a little bit funny, I'm on the tail end of that really bad cold that I got. Talk about a bad summertime cold.
They happen. They're pretty. Yeah. It seems like sometimes they're worse in the summer than they are in the winter.
Oh, summer colds are the worst.
Yeah.
I'll take a winter cold any day. But you know how it is these days, guys. You know, when anybody gets a sniffle or a sneeze or a sore throat, all of a sudden it's COVID.
Yeah,
It's COVID.
Let me put my mask on.
Watch out.
Oh.
It's like you just get a cold these days, and everybody is like, oh God, he's got COVID.
Automatically.
Automatically.
There's no such thing as colds or flus
No.
anymore, but enough on that.
But we digress. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming back to the channel for another Wednesday installment here. So we had high hopes for this mine. Right behind me here, we've got what's called the Grand Deposit. And the reason I'm giving you guys out that name is it's a neat area. Y'all should come here and visit this. It's got a lot of structures down below in the valley. Fortunately, everything's been burned out. Big fire came through here right around 40.
I think it was in the early 40s.
Early 40s. Just roasted the whole area, burned down most all the buildings. All that's left now is foundations and what we have behind us right here. So what do we have? Well, at one time this used to be an 800-foot deep incline shaft, and we were hoping that it would be a nice collared shaft like we found in the past with a nice ladder that maybe we can do a rope assist. Unfortunately, turns out it's a big old bad sarlacc pit. Everything is just falling into it. But hey, if there's someone out there that wants a real adventure,
This is it.
This is it. Grab yourself a 1,000-foot rope and toss it into the hole, because there is a buttload of workings down here. Probably, I'm going to say it's probably flooded around the 400 or 500 level, taking into consideration the height of the water table in this area.
That would make sense.
But regardless, there's a lot of upper levels that have never seen a camera. They've never been explored, but you'd have to be a pretty daring soul to get into this one.
You'd rather live to see another day.
Absolutely. So let me give you the full tour of this area, show you what I'm talking about, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, let's get started. All right, let's get things started by pointing the camera at the lovely Miss Laura and old Bob behind her there. Yep, and I will tell you about what we did to Bob in another upcoming video. I really want to thank you guys for your help and support in getting him repaired, but there's a big long story that comes with it, but I'm going to save that for a different video. Okay, so here it is. Got an old brick and mortar building. The back side of it is all fallen down now. There is a hoist up in there. I'll show you that here in a minute. And then the shaft went down right here. Now, at about the 50-foot level, they drifted over and they started stoping up, and then fast forward all of these decades later, the stope finally collapsed in, and you have what we have right here. Mother Nature did what she usually does and opened it up, and it all just kind of eroded into the bottom and over to the shaft. Okay, so let's go this direction, and I'm going to show you guys the shaft. See this? See, they had a nice, really beautiful concrete pad here that surrounded the shaft, and now everything is just kind of starting to slump right in. Let's get around the velvet rope, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Without falling into the hole, of course. All right. There we go. Okay, there it is, guys. Take a look at that. So I know it's hard to tell on camera. Of course, 90 degrees is vertical. That's sitting at about 85, maybe 80, somewhere in that area. We tossed a rather large rock down there earlier. We thought we heard it hit the bottom, but we're not quite sure. But it went a long ways. But you can tell that if you tried to rope it, see all the crumble? And the fact that it has no collar, all that loose material would be coming down on you. both on the way down and on the way back up. So we're going to pass on this one. All right. Shooting back up towards the hoist house right there. Okay, and I'm going to go around. Let's see. I'll tell you what, guys. I'll just meet up with you when I get to the hoist house. I'll see you over there. All right, there we go. Yep, you never know what you're going to get with a Wednesday episode. Some days we'll get underground. Other days we'll find some cool topside stuff like this one. And that's why we started doing Wednesdays, because we were bypassing a lot of neat topside stuff that we could have made an episode out of, but never did. Okay, here we are. Check out the hoist house. You can see the control levers off to the right over there. This is one of those old Denvers, is what we have. We've seen these before in the past. And by the looks of the cinder block, they used to have a nice wall back there, but Mother Nature has brought it down and the whole wall fell into the hoist. Okay, let's first start looking at it from this angle here. But these things are dinosaurs. Let me tell you, if a person was to take this all apart, take it back, sandblast it, clean it all up, it could certainly be used again. There's some writing right there. I'm sure you guys can see it better on camera. And then as I go around this direction, take a look from that angle. I like finding these old hoists, but this one is definitely newer. Definitely 40s. Okay, and then I'm going to point the camera up at the lettering up in there. I know we got a shadow on it. Maybe it might be hard to read, but you can see where it says Denver. Excuse me, don't mean to burp in the microphone. Okay, and I'll look at it from this angle. Right there. And that's where all the cables went. Right out that opening there, and then down into the mine. Okay, there's a few more things around here I want to point out to you guys, so I'll be right back. All right, guys, there's where we just were. And now I'm going to pan across and show you what we have hiding down here in the bottom. Massive waste rock pile, just absolutely huge, both up here and down below. But you can see that they had a bulldozer out here, and they were flattening out the waste rock to create the approach to this mine. But down below, we've got all kinds of different things. Wood, what's left of the head frame, maybe what's left of the trestle, where they extended it out and then they pushed the waste rock off the sides. Laura and I are wondering if they might have an adit down here, because you can see down in the bottom there's waste rock at that level. Sometimes what the miners will do is they will not only drop in a vertical or an incline shaft, but then what they'll do is they'll put in a side adit to intersect with that shaft, and that helps with getting the men in and out, getting equipment in and out, things like that, rather than just coming down the top of the shaft. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to head down into the bottom, poke around down there, see if we can't find something like that. We'll see you down there. All right, let's start over here. Looks like we've got maybe an old boiler or something like that. You know, Laura, coming down off of this cold has actually made my voice a little bit more like, how would you say, kind of like James Earl Jones, you know? Should I give it a try? I should be like, this is CNN, huh? Or, Luke, I am your father. All right. No, you know what we have here, guys? This is a trommel. Yeah, it's what's left of an old trommel. Or they started off, it was probably a boiler at one time, but you can see where they welded. See this right here? That right there. Okay, well that's going to run on rollers. Okay, and then you can see where they cut this off to make shims, and then they welded it in place. And so yeah, that's what we have here. We've got an old trommel that used to be a boiler. Okay, let me point at it from this direction.
Always repurposing their materials.
Sure, yeah. Miners are very, very resourceful, and they will do that. You know, what they could have been using it for is maybe for dewatering. Most likely for washing the rock, though. Because if they were finding free gold, maybe that's what some of this waste rock is in the wash here, Laura. Is they were running some of the wash material. All right, so there's where we're headed over there, guys, to the big old pile of debris. I'll see you over there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, look at that, Laura.
Looks like an adit.
Ooh, looks like an adit, doesn't it? Sure does. Wouldn't that be cool if this was, but it's looking more and more like maybe powder storage. Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. We'll poke up in here and see.
It might have been more than that.
Well, I'll let you go. Go ahead. You got your little flashlight on you?
Yeah.
All right. It looks like it's fully collapsed, but I don't know. We'll get a good look at it here. Let me turn this light. I'll turn my lights on and poke up in there. Watch out for them noisy sticks. Does it go under?
Yeah, there's a gap right here.
I think I see a gap. We're just being cautious. We got all this Russian thistle that'll make your arms itch like crazy. You gotta get past all that. And you also gotta watch out for those rattlers. Yeah, it does look like there is a void right there. Spider webs. What do you see?
It goes.
Really?
Yep. I don't know how far it goes.
Uh-huh. You'd have to do quite a bit of digging, wouldn't we?
Yeah, to get in there.
Yeah, I can see how much that top stuff is coming down.
Yeah, maybe you can see with the camera. I can't tell if it pinches off back there or not, but it does go a tiny bit.
I'll step out here, let you get past me. It's kind of tight in there. Oh, I hate that Russian thistle. One scratch and you're itching all day long.
Your turn.
Okay. Here we go. All right, what do we got in here? Boy. All right, let's move this rock out of the way. Get that rock out of the way, and that one too. All right, I can point the... Nope. Okay, guys, I don't know if I can get the... All this was storage.
Storage?
Yeah. That's it. All right, let me turn around. Okay. Yeah. Dynamite storage.
Okay.
All right, guys, I'll be back. I got thistle in my sock. All right, there we go. let's see what we've got. That's what used to be the roof of something. And over here, oh yeah, that's definitely the head frame. Oh, look at it, still has the oh, what do you call it there? That's the gears for a gate. You know those gates that we've seen in the past? So it's part of the head frame as well as part of the ore bin, all on top of each other. Yeah, you see what I'm talking about, guys. You can see the gears up in there. That's for the the chute. Open and close it. Control your ore flow into the trucks. Ooh, look at this beautiful rock that somebody set here. Look at that pretty one. Wow. Is that, yeah, that's limonite. That's a big hunky, chunky piece of beautiful limonite with calcite crystals surrounding it. That's what that is. And then behind it there, that tin can looks like an oil can. All right, let's head off this direction. See if anything's hiding. Because they were pushing the waste rock out here. Anything hiding? Nothing down there. Nothing off this direction, but a big 55-gallon drum down in the bottom, and then out that direction, guys. So if you ever come out here, that's where you're going to find all the foundations. I believe there's even an old cemetery out here too.
Cemetery, it looked like there was might have been a foundation for a mill too that was passed on the way up.
That's right.
And maybe a couple of smaller adits.
Now look at the size of the waste rock pile, guys, as in comparison to the size of Bob, as well as the hoist house. That's why I'm saying if you were brave enough to rope that, you're going to get into some tremendous workings down in there. So I think the next thing, now that we've covered this, when we were coming up here, we did pass, it looked like 2 adits, but they were small, probably prospects. So we're going to head over there next. Here's the, see, that's the wheel. This is what would have opened and closed the gate on the ore bin right there. So yeah, we're gonna head over there to those 2 smaller adits, and we'll poke the camera up in those, see what it's all about, and hopefully maybe we can even find something around here to get underground for this coming Saturday's episode. All right, okay guys, we'll see you over there by those 2 old adits. Okay, there we go. Now, take a look behind Laura. You see all that smoke out there? Okay, so for us, today is Sunday, July 28th. For you guys, you won't be seeing this until Wednesday, unless, of course, you're a member of the channel, and then you'll get to watch this video just as soon as it's uploaded to the scheduler. So by all means, head on over. Click on the join button, become a member of the channel, and you get to see all of our cool videos just as soon as they're uploaded and hit the scheduler. So, you see all that smoke out there? That's all coming from California. There's 2 big ones burning out west, and the smoke is headed our direction. We've been breathing it in all day. One is from that fire that was started by an arsonist, and the other one was lightning caused. All right, up there is the mill site. This is where they processed all the ore from the Grand Deposit mine that I just got done showing you. Right up there, you can see all the pylons and the bolts sticking out of those pylons up there. Off to the right over here, that's the valley that we were just up in and came down. And then off over here, you can see we've got a great big waste rock pile right there. Not sure what we've got going on up there, and then we've got another one at a lower level right here. So we're going to dive into both of these right now. So let's start with the lower one, and we'll head on in there and see what that one's all about. Okay, there we are. Oh, and by the way, guys, we do have some more of that pyrite for sale that we got from the waste rock piles of the Ward mine. So if you want to head on down to the description area, click on my eBay site. There is still a little bit more available for this next week. All right, so what am I pointing the camera at here? Well, we've got limonite, and we were seeing it all over as we were walking up the waste rock pile. So that's probably what's going on in here, is they found themselves a nice juicy limonite pocket. And of course that always often contains gold, and that's why they went into it. Okay. All right, let's get the lights on. Turn this one on. Here we go. 3. And right off the bat, we've got couple of carbide tins right there. And now, once again, I got to get past all this icky Russian thistle. All right. We got some bones on the ground, probably from the last mine explorer. All right, what do we got up in here? I can see some sunlight. We must be intersecting with some of that workings up higher. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we've got some calcite sickles running out of the drill hole right there. And there's the limonite pocket off to my right. But I bet you they're going after a much bigger one. Let's look around. They got a raise going up there with a lot of pack rat patina running down the rocks like molasses. And if you notice, guys, so I'm going to point something out to you. You can see how the pack rat jumps from here, climbs the rock to here, down to here, down to there, and all the way down to the floor. So he's running up and down that all the time, and that's his favorite places to use the bathroom. All right, let's keep on going here. Well, I think that's going to be it for this one. This is short and sweet. Not seeing any big limonite pockets, but it looks to me like what they were doing is they were intending this to be like an ore pass. They had a chute right here, which is now collapsed, and they were dropping the material from up above where we're about to go next. And that makes sense, because when you're hard rock mining, you want to use gravity to your advantage to drop it down and out of the mountain. Not too much here, Laura.
Nope.
No, just all we got here is a pack rat Shangri-La. You want to go put your finger in that up on the rock over there and just give it a little taste. Tell me what you think.
It looks like maple syrup.
Well, you don't know till you try.
Well, I'll go with the look of it. At the smaller drill holes.
Yeah. All right, guys, so we're going to head on out of here. I'm going to go up the hill. We'll poke in that one and see what it's all about. We'll see you up there. All right, there we go. You can see old Bob down in the bottom. We're higher up on the side of the hill. Laura, I think we're at around 7,000 feet here, aren't we?
7 to 8.
7 to 8,000, yeah. That's why I'm huffing and puffing. Off there, there's the mill site that I showed you earlier. And then, again, that valley right up there would have went to the Grand Deposit mine. So here we are, higher up on the hill. You can see the limonite that they pulled out of this pocket. It's still laying here. They must not like the looks of that. That's why it's still here. So my guess is they just found a simple pocket. They put in an ore pass to drop it down to that lower level, and that was the end of that. Let's see if I'm right. Yep, see, right up there. There's where the limonite pocket used to be, but they cleaned it all out. See, it's all gone now. And then down below me, right here, is where they were dropping it. Right down there. And I'll point and that goes straight down where we just came from. Right, because I can feel all the wind blowing out of it. All right, so here we had, see the big eye hook that they put in the back right there, and then they ran the cable over to that right there so that they could raise and lower the bucket in and out. But after they got it built, then they did away with that so they could just throw the ore into the bottom. All right, let's get past this. Let's look down in there. Okay, here we go, guys. Oh yeah, there's where we just were. Okay, but still keeps going. But before we head off that direction, let me show you what I'm talking about in regards to the limonite. Look at how beautiful. Look at the seam of it right here. Now, if I was still a gold prospector instead of a mine explorer, I'd chip right into that and see if you can find some free gold. Because limonite busts up pretty darn easy in a jaw crusher. All right, looking in here. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Wow. I tell you, if you love rocks and minerals, Nevada is the state for you. They got something for everybody here. So you might be asking, well, Gly, how come you don't do like what some of the other maybe mine explorers do, like start your own gold mine or go out and do stuff like what Dan Hurd does, prospecting, and or the fellow from Mount Baker Mining and Metals. How come you don't do stuff like that? And the reason I don't is because I've lived that life. I've been down that road all through the 90s, mid-90s and early 2000s. I did all that kind of stuff. And that was a chapter in my life that I lived to the fullest. Had a lot of fun with it. And now it's over and I'm on to a different chapter. Right now I'm really enjoying mine exploring and finding all this neat history and all these artifacts and bringing it to the world. It just gives me a lot of enjoyment, and that's why I'm doing that now, and that's why I don't prospect. All right. Well, that is it for this one. Let's get a closer look at this thing. Right there. All right, guys. So Laura and I are going to head back down to Old Bob, and we'll see you down there. All right, guys. Well, that's going to have to do it for this episode. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, a nice way to get back into it.
Yeah. I told Laura, I said, can we just please find a mine that we can like drive to and walk into instead of rope into an incline shaft or do something crazy today? I mean, we've been more or less kind of like on vacation now for 6 or 7 weeks, waiting for old Bob to get all done. And like I was saying earlier, I'll make a separate video. We'll go over all that so I can get you guys up to speed on everything that transpired. But we're back out. We're getting into it again. We're jumping back into our original itinerary. We're about a month and a week behind. So everything that we planned on doing for July, now we're going to be doing in August, which is okay. And let me tell you why. Because, see, when you jump into these Nevada mines in June and early July, all of the snow melt, which ends up as groundwater, permeates in through the rock layers and ends up into the mines. And so that's why, if you guys can remember, when we went to this one mine last summer where we roped down into it and got really deep down in there, it was really wet, it was really drippy. That's because we hit it in June. So now that we're going to be jumping into these in early August and throughout August, most of these mines, all that groundwater should have worked through by now, so we should have better exploring conditions in these upcoming mines, which are going to be super cool. Okay, so we've got, there's more up around the corner up here, more to the south of Grand Deposit. It looks like on Google Earth there's an open stope or something up there, so we're going to go recon that right now. We're going to see if we can turn that into a Saturday episode, but if not, then we're going to head off to our next exciting location. Guys, thank you so much for coming along on this Wednesday Explore, and we'll see you all again this coming Saturday. Take care now. Bye-bye.